We return to Pete Tong, Ben Turner as they close the ultra-successful IMS 2008.
I mean, back in 1991, when I first got to Radio 1, I was on Capital Radio from 87 to 91. And I had Richard Park as my boss. I don't know if you know who he is, but probably one of the most inspirational kind of coaches that you could ever have, and really knocked me into shape. And probably for the first time, really, I realised that radio is a serious art form. And he was on my case every single week. You know, if I played the wrong record or just said the wrong thing, he'd phone up the studio and give me a bollocking. But I kind of liked it. You kind of felt like you're learning something. When I went to Radio 1, which was like the end of the road, the holy grail, I can honestly tell you that the experience of the first week, it didn't just kind of gradually move into this. The first week was literally all of the senior people leaving the station, like giving me the keys, saying, "Yeah, all right, son, you take over. We're off down the pub." And I had a part-time producer, Mike Hawkes, who used to work on John Waters and John Peel and Andy Kershaw, and he wasn't really that interested in me. And there I was sitting in this incredible studio that was, so many legends had sat in, and I was, Simon Bates used to sit in this chair, and I was following Steve Wright in the next studio, and I was kind of on my own. It was kind of mad. So from that to having a team around me that is second kind of only to the breakfast show, really, in terms of the amount of people I've got involved in the show, is incredible. So, and then you feel the sense of responsibility. I probably feel more responsible doing the job, although I'd like to think I always have. But I'm kind of scared to take a week off now because I feel like I'm letting them down. And actually, I took tonight off, and it jars with me a bit. The ball and chain aspect of doing radio is quite wearing over time, because you can't really go away on tour like Sasha and Digweed for 6 months. I keep having to come back. And pre-recording is actually a bit laborious. So yeah, taking a week off now, you do think twice about it.
How important has BBC's global reach been for you and for people in this room who probably listen to you from all corners of the world?
Yes, well, since the internet, it's been phenomenal. They were pretty good syndicators in the 90s, but the internet changed everything. In a way, electronic music was saved by the internet, because when the super clubs were closing and the punters were drifting away and the drugs were running out, it was all getting a bit boring at the end of the 90s, and the record companies couldn't sustain the infrastructure that we built up around dance music because there just wasn't the sales, and the magazines had to lay people off. The one thing that was the saving grace that allowed DJs to migrate around the world was the internet, because suddenly Des and Masiello made a record. I played it on the radio. He got a booking at Womb in Japan because they liked his record, and that was, I don't think we really articulated it at the time, but it was incredible that our asses were kind of saved by the fact that we could now travel, and we were the first people to do that. And I still think that kind of throwing back to what this conference is all about, I do feel when it comes to the internet, we should be ahead of the game, really. We don't really make the music like Coldplay that can sell 10 million copies, but in a way we were the early adapters to the internet, and we should be happy about that. And I think just the innocence of hearing Jonas talk about Beatport, it was actually started because he couldn't get enough music. And we got gigs all around the world, and largely the global scene that we have today is due to instant messenger, MP3s and iChat.
To be in the IMS the first year is really special. It has a special vibe. It has a really unique feeling overall. I think the people that have organized it really took the time to find good locations and plan really good events and have it something special that everyone can enjoy.
I can't see this not growing into something massive. It's in its first year. It's got some major support from the industry, and I'm sure next year the sponsorship will be 10 times bigger than it is this year, and that will reflect on the conference and the summit.
That's about it from us. Thanks for tuning in. For information on our next programme and for the exclusive IMS videos, check out undergroundtv.co.uk. See you next month.